What if I told you there's a place where clothing is optional, but identity is everything? A world where nudity isn't shameful, but sacred. Where girls grow up topless not in rebellion, but in respect for tradition. You've seen the viral clips. Naked tribe sex, African porn. But you've only scratched the surface. This is not about lust. It's about legacy. Welcome to the real nude life of African girls, where every bare shoulder tells a deeper story. Misunderstood by the world. Across Google Trends, the terms nude tribe, topless girls, and tribe sex are exploding. But what do they really mean? For most, these searches come from curiosity or fantasy. But the truth is much deeper, much older. Western media has long twisted African culture into erotic entertainment. Documentaries sliced for shock value. Photos turned into memes. The people? Forgotten. In tribes like the Himba of Namibia or the Surma of Ethiopia, nudity is not sexual, it's ancestral. Girls grow up bare-chested, not to provoke, but to preserve. Red ochre covers their skin, handmade beads hang from their necks, and each adornment tells the story of womanhood. These aren't just naked girls. They are daughters of a lineage that values soul over cloth. Our bodies are not for desire, they are for devotion. We're here to tell their real story, not the internet's version. The sacredness of sex. Let's talk about sex, but not how the internet shows it. In many African tribes, sex is not dirty. It's divine. Among the Krobo in Ghana, the Dapo ceremony is a rite of passage. Teenage girls, dressed in beads and exposed chests, learn the art of intimacy, not in secret, but as part of tradition. They are taught by elders, celebrated by their communities, and embraced by their ancestors. In the Ovahimba tribe, relationships and sexuality are openly discussed. There is no shame. Love is not hidden. Consent, pleasure, and purpose are all taught, without whispers, without stigma. Among the Banyankole of Uganda, aunts guide brides on how to please and be pleased, not just physically, but spiritually and emotionally. Sex isn't sin, it's ceremony. To understand these traditions, we must first unlearn our shame. Middle part of script. Let's pause for a moment and clear away the stereotypes. Because when we look at the real lives of African girls in remote tribal communities, what we see is not something scandalous or shameful, but rather a way of life deeply rooted in tradition, climate, and cultural identity. In many traditional societies across Africa, from the Himba of Namibia to the Mursi and Hamar of Ethiopia, clothing is not about modesty in the way Western societies often define it. Instead, it's about practicality, comfort, and symbolism. Beauty without shame. In these tribal lands, the female body is not censored, it is celebrated. Beauty doesn't come in a bottle or from Photoshop. It comes from posture, presence, and pride. Not what the internet shows. When people hear nude life of African girls, their minds often rush to sensational ideas. But the truth is far from what viral headlines and clickbait thumbnails suggest. In many rural African communities, nudity is simply part of daily living, not something provocative. It's a reflection of climate, culture, and traditions that have been practiced for hundreds of years. The Mangbetu women of the Congo, known for their tall heads and elegant stance, walk topless in elegance. They shape their hair in towering coils and wear elaborate jewelry, but never masks of modesty. Their bodies are art. Their culture, alive. The Surma and Mursi paint their skin with ash, clay, and charcoal. Young girls proudly display lip plates and beads. No bras. No filters. Just bold tradition. In these tribes, the body is not a canvas for seduction. It's a living story. When we stop hiding the body, we start honoring the soul. Body art speaks louder than clothes. In many tribes, beauty and identity are expressed through body painting, beads, and elaborate hairstyles. Ochre mixed with butter is rubbed on the skin for protection and decoration. Necklaces, bracelets, and waist beads tell stories of age, marriage prospects, or tribal affiliation. For these girls, such adornments are often more important than any piece of fabric. what topless truly means. The phrase topless girls might stir scandal in one part of the world and celebration in another. For many African girls, toplessness is not about exposure, it's about existence. It's about living in sync with the earth, the sun, and spirit. Clothes came with colonization. Before that, nudity was nature. The Nuba tribe in Sudan believes that covering the body hides the truth. Children and women bathe in rivers, dance in the rain, and work in fields without shame. What's called nudity elsewhere is simply life here. Our breasts feed, nurture, and tell time. Why would we hide them? Climate shapes culture. It's important to remember that much of Africa lies in tropical or semi-arid zones. Here, temperatures soar, and clothing is more of a practical choice than a moral one. In many tribes, minimal clothing is a logical adaptation to the environment. Heavy fabrics simply don't make sense. Instead, bodies are protected with natural substances like clay or butterfat, which moisturize the skin and shield it from the sun. In these communities, nudity is not a political statement, it's personal legacy, rituals, and coming of age. For many African girls, growing up also means preparing for community ceremonies that celebrate milestones. Some of these rituals involve dancing, singing, and wearing special ornaments. Girls might adorn themselves with fresh beadwork, or have their hair styled in elaborate ways that mark their transition from childhood to adulthood. These moments are full of pride, not shame, because they connect each girl to her ancestors and her place in the tribe. The internet versus the intimate. Let's be honest. Most people clicking nude tribe or African porn don't expect respect, they expect titillation. And the internet delivers clips cut out of context, women turned into thumbnails, ceremonies labeled tribe sex to gain clicks. But those clips? They're usually sacred rituals, moments of transition, or artistic dances. Take the Umlanga, or Reed dance of Swaziland, where girls dance bare-chested before royalty. It's not erotic, it's ancestral. Or the Sambura's wedding ritual, where women gather in vibrant cloths and beads to sing and sway. Outsiders label it wild, but to the tribe, it's sacred. We must ask, are we watching or violating? When you film my culture without context, you steal its soul. Education, not exploitation, Among the Xhosa and Zulu, sexual education begins early, but not in secrecy. Elders teach youth about respect, about readiness, about roles. Boys learn how to protect, not possess. Girls learn how to choose, not comply. The Trobriand Islanders, sometimes labeled the Sex Island, practice open courtship. Yes, they kiss. Yes, they sleep together. But it's monitored by family, guided by tradition, framed by wisdom. These aren't nude tribes, they're nuanced tribes. Our lessons are not in textbooks, they're in the way we live. To label it tribe sex is to erase what it really is, tribal strength. So what have we learned about the real nude life of African girls? We've learned that being topless isn't about being exposed, it's about being expressive. That what we call tribe sex might just be traditional wisdom misunderstood by modern eyes. That naked isn't shameful, it's soulful. This is not erotic. This is identity. These are not pornographic fantasies. These are people, cultures, and legacies that deserve our respect, not our ridicule. So, before you scroll away, ask yourself, can you unlearn what media taught you? Could you live in a world where nudity is normal? Are you ready to see these tribes for who they truly are? If this video opened your eyes, click like. Drop a comment, what part challenged your beliefs the most? Subscribe for more raw, real stories from the hidden corners of culture. And don't forget to hit the bell, because the truth shouldn't stay hidden.